Hey ladies and gents, it's me Truebrilliance back with a video. So in this video we're going to be talking about the famed North and South Node placements in astrology. So this is going to be a whole series going through all of the North and South Node placements in this video, what it means, what are the things that you need to work on, so forth and so on. Okay, so you're going to get the full lowdown, the full tea sip. Okay, in this video, just to let you guys know, I am an astrologer. I have a business called Queensandthrones where we help you heal through the divine feminine energy. So if you would like to get any natal chart analysis done, any astrology work, any personal healing sessions or spiritual sessions done with me, check out my website. It's going to be down below, the link to it, so you can sign up for that. I also do teach personal classes as well. Okay, so getting into the North and South Node energy. Now, the North and South Node are 2 points in your natal chart. If you were just to go look up a free natal chart online, when you're going through your placements, it'll most likely be seen as the true node. Okay, some of them say North Node, some of them say True Node. Okay, so the True Node is also another word for North Node placement. Okay, and whatever your North Node or your True Node placement is, that's your North Node, and then the South Node is always going to be the opposite sign. So you don't necessarily have to see the South Node placement, just it's always the opposite sign of your North Node all the time. Okay, so you're going to want to pay attention to what sign that your North Node or your True Node is in, and you're also going to want to pay attention to the house that it's in, because the house placement is important as well. This video we're just going to be talking about the sign placements, but you will also be able to get some information about your house placement as well, because the energy is going to be a little bit similar as well. Okay, but I will do a house placement North Node and South Node video at a later time. This will just be for you to get the basics. Okay, so another way to identify the North Node placement in your chart, like if you have one of the circular astrology charts, it looks like a set of headphones. Okay, that's what the symbol of it, the astrology symbol of the North Node is. It looks like a headphone. So it's like a round circle and like two balls on either end. Okay, it kind of looks like a horseshoe with two balls on the end. Okay, that's the symbol for the North Node. Okay, so the North and South Node are 2 points of the moon, and it's said to represent our karmic destiny, our reason for reincarnating back into this realm. Okay, so the reason why the South Node is important for you to know is because the South Node is usually the energy that we come into this life carrying over from our past lives. Okay, so the South Node placement covers the energy that we have been operating in for a very long time, and that we are very used to operating in this energy. Okay, and it's kind of like second nature to us. But the South Node placement is no longer helping us. It's actually hindering us in this lifetime, because it's causing us to fall back on old habits and old ways of being that are outworn in our life and really aren't helping us to reach the next level in our life. Your North Node placement, which is always the opposite of the South Node, is actually the energy that we need to be moving toward in order to balance out our South Node energy. Okay, so we actually need to be learning the ways of the North Node, practicing the ways of the North Node in order to evolve our consciousness and to take our lives to the next level. Because basically, think of the North and South Node like two scales. Okay, the South Node is tipped up here and the North Node is down here. Okay, so basically, because we've been focused so much on our South Node energy, we are out of balance. Okay, and we have too much energy focused here. So what we need to do is practice our North Node placement to bring the energy back here and to balance us out. Okay, so a lot of people don't know that the South Node really influences who we are, our overall personality. So your South Node placement usually influences you for the first 30 years of your life. Most people are totally unconscious of this energy. I personally was unconscious of it until my late 20s, and I actually didn't start feeling comfortable practicing my North Node until after my Saturn return. Your Saturn return comes at the age 28, between 28 and 30. So people usually don't get the hang of practicing their North Node until after 30 years old or after their Saturn return has ended. However, the younger you are and the sooner that you're getting this information, the better, because the sooner you start practicing your North Node energy, that is the faster that you're going to evolve. That's the faster that you're going to be going toward your soul evolution and the purpose, the reason why you incarnated back into this realm. Because it's said that the North Node is so important that it is the entire reason why we incarnated back into this world, is to practice the energy of the North Node to balance out our past life karmas and our past life issues. Okay, so the sign that the North Node is in and the house is very, very important. Also, any aspects that the planets are making to either one of these points is very, very important as well, because if you have a lot of planets aspecting your South Node, that means that you have a lot of energy that's pulling you back to that old way of being. So you really have to work like twice as hard to overcome your South Node, because you have so much energy focused on South Node areas. On the flip side of it though, if you have a lot of your planets, especially the more positive planets, aspecting your North Node, the energy that you're already going toward, this can actually be very beneficial to you, okay? Because you have energy in this lifetime that is helping you reach your North Node, okay? And so it comes a little bit more natural to you, okay? Same thing as if your sun sign is in the same sign as your North Node, that's going to be beneficial to you. If your moon sign is in the same sign as your North Node, that's going to be beneficial to you. If your Venus is in the same sign as your North Node, that's going to be beneficial to you, because that means that you came into this world born already with the energy that you need to practice your North Node. And it can work in the reverse. If your sun, moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars is in the same sign as your South Node, you, depending on what the rest of your chart looks like, because it always depends on the rest of your chart, you may have to work a little bit harder, okay, to break away from some of those South Node tendencies, because you already naturally have that, especially if it's like your sun or your ascendant or your moon. Okay, so that's just to give you guys a little cover story on that. I talked at length about my South Node placement and my South Node experience, how I came into awareness about it, how it changed my life, and I will link that down below as well, so you guys can watch my South Node video about how it has affected me personally, and you guys can get more insight into that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get into the personal placements of the North and South Node. So now we're going to get into the Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node placement, as well as the Sagittarius North Node and the Gemini South Node placement, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into this one. This is definitely switching gears a lot from the other North and South Node videos that I did, because this one more so has to do with information, the information that you're taking in and the information that you're giving out, and it has to do a lot with learning and relearning this lifetime and being open-minded, okay? So with Gemini North Node and Sagittarius South Node. Okay, so with your South Node and Sagittarius, you are somebody that was an explorer in your past life. You were somebody that lived a very fulfilling life with a lot of life experience, okay? You were somebody that was traveling the world, visiting different cultures. You may have lived in a lot of foreign cultures and foreign countries in your past lives. You mixed and mingled with a lot of people that were different from you and outside of your normal comfort zone. So you were somebody that gathered a lot of information, and you just learned so much. You were like a sponge, absorbing so much from life experience, okay? And because of this, you may feel like you know it all, okay? This is the position of somebody that kind of has an attitude where they feel like they know everything because they've been through everything and they've saw everything, and that they don't really need to learn from other people, okay? So with this South Node placement, there can be a little bit of arrogance with this South Node placement, because you use your wisdom and knowledge to kind of gain power over other people, and you kind of don't respect other people for their knowledge or their experiences because you feel like you have more experience than them. Okay, but what you guys need to learn is that you guys can always learn more. Just because you know so much doesn't mean that you need to be closed off to even more life experience. And sometimes you learn things from the mundane. Sometimes you learn things just from your day-to-day existence. You don't always have to go across the country in order to really learn something, or you don't always have to study these deep philosophical concepts to really know something. You can know things just from your day-to-day experience, just having a conversation with someone. Okay, you can learn things that way. Okay, so your life experience doesn't always have to come from these profound things that you think. Yes, you have a lot of knowledge. Yes, you know a lot, but you can always learn more from others, even the people that you think aren't as intelligent as you, okay, or don't know as much as you. Okay, so with Sagittarius South Node, you guys are already very open-minded, but you need to respect all forms of information, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, you guys can also have like a preacher's mentality. Okay, so you guys can preach people's heads off, especially when you guys are feeling righteous about one of your beliefs or something that you know. You guys need to really just let people be themselves. Okay, sometimes you can't teach everyone. Sometimes you can't indoctrinate people into your philosophy in life. Okay, sometimes you just have to let people come to their own realizations on their own time without trying to tell them what they need to be learning or enforcing your opinions on people, because this is another thing with Sagittarius South Node. You guys can kind of force your opinions on people or give your opinions to people when it wasn't really warranted or when nobody really asked for your opinion on something. You just kind of give your opinion because you feel like you know best. Okay. What else with this placement? Also, you guys are explorers naturally, so you guys may always be feeling like you need to travel, you need to get away, you need to go experience something new. But you guys have done that already. You've been around the world 10 times and you got t-shirts to show for it. You actually need to stay your behind put, okay? You need to learn from the mundane. You need to learn from your immediate environment. Stay within your neighborhood and get to know the people within your neighborhood. Build relationships with the people that are already around you instead of always trying to like escape and go have this big adventure. You've lived the adventurous life already. Okay, that's not something that you need to do. You actually need to bring your life back down to more simplistic terms, okay, and just enjoy your life for what it is instead of always feeling like you need to discover more, because really there's nothing more to discover. What you need to be discovering is things on the smaller scale of life. Okay, you need to start relearning just how to interact again with normal people and have normal conversations that don't have to be super philosophical or don't have to be super deep. You need to relearn how to connect with people. Okay, that's what you're relearning, which is something that is very much Gemini. Okay, Geminis are very curious people. With Gemini North Node, you need to be more curious about the people and things around you. Ask more questions, because when you have the Sagittarius energy, you don't ask questions. You're not open to receive new information because you think you know everything already. Okay, so with Gemini North Node, it's trying to teach you to still be receptive to people and situations. Still listen to that person that's trying to tell you something, because you may learn a valuable lesson in what they're trying to say. They may be dropping little jewels of information that can actually help you in your life, even if you think they're not smarter than you or they don't know more than you. Okay, so you actually need to be more receptive to receiving information from other sources of people, okay? And just being more curious just in your daily life, okay? And making your life a little bit more simplistic. All right, now switching it up to the other end of the spectrum, going to the Sagittarius North Node and Gemini South Node. Now with you guys are too focused on the details, okay? So you come into this life being somebody that was most likely somebody that was involved in delivering information, being a messenger in your past life. So you were somebody that carried the bone, okay? You were the one that delivered messages back and forth to people. You were the source of information, okay, in your past life. People came to you to find out things. You also may have been involved in a lot of gossip in your past lives, where you were the one that was telling people's business or being involved in other people's business and carrying that information to other people. Okay. You were also the person that people would just come to for any inside information that they wanted to know. So you were really used to having, and you knew about every single situation. You knew a little bit about everything that was going on, but your scope never proceeded past that. Okay, so you are somebody that really needs to open your mind to the fact that there's a bigger world out there. You're somebody that's very, very comfortable in your surroundings, and you don't really like to leave your neighborhood or leave where you're at or even leave where you're born at. Okay, you may not even be interested in the fact that there's a larger world out there. Okay, there's a deeper meaning behind stuff. You just may like to gather information for the sake of gathering information just because you want to know, but you're not getting the bigger picture. You're not getting the deeper meaning behind what it is that you know. Why do you want to know this stuff? Like, is it helping you in your daily life in any type of way? Is it helping you to grow? Is it for some type of business that you're trying to run? Is it for your life purpose in any way? Okay, so with Gemini South nodes, you guys kind of have a problem seeing the larger picture in life and seeing how things fit together. It's like you just want to find out information just to find out information, but it's like you're not doing anything with that information. Are you taking it and broadcasting it to the world so that it can help people evolve? Or are you just trying to find out information for your own, your own selfish needs, just so you can have the information so that you can hold it over people, instead of really using what you know to really help people and to teach people as well, because you guys are meant to be teachers. Okay, so you guys are kind of done gathering the facts and details, because you guys stay really stuck in the facts and details and trying to figure out what it is that you want to know, but you're not taking it beyond that. Okay, because what you're really supposed to be doing is taking the information and sharing it with the world at large. You guys also need to do a lot more traveling. Okay, so you guys really have to get outside of your comfort zone, and expand your mind more. Okay, so you guys need to get into higher learning pursuits. Maybe start learning about astrology. Maybe start learning about deeper spirituality. Maybe start studying different religious systems. Okay, you guys need to get the information that you guys are bringing in needs to be something that actually changes your life and actually helps your life, instead of you just gathering the information just to gather the information. Okay, also I have to bring up the gossip thing again, because you guys can be huge gossips with the Gemini and South Node. Okay, always being the messenger. It can get a little messy, it can get a little petty, but always telling people what this person said and what this person said and all this other stuff. That's like what's called meaningless information. It's not really helping you, okay, in the grand scheme of your life. You actually need to learn information to improve your life in some type of way. That's why it's good for you guys to learn about spirituality. That's why it's good for you guys to learn about different techniques and self-help things that are going to actually change your life in a major way. This is why I keep saying get out and travel, because traveling is going to change your perspective. Traveling is going to take you out of that small little cubby hole that you've been in with those same people that you've been conversing with day in and day out and haven't had any growth in your life. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone and open you up to the wider world with even more information, but information that's actually going to help you. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have this placement, leave your comments down below. Also, keep in mind, if you do have third house or ninth house, south or north node, you may be able to relate to this as well. Thank you.